Mr. Gary!
What's up, Mr. Abel?
What's happening, man? How you doing?
It's Friday!
It is Friday, and this is an impromptu little gathering.
Quarantine with Abel and
Yep.
Gary.
Actually, it's quarantine with Gary and Abel. So,
Whatever.
yep.
Don't matter.
Your name goes first, man.
Hey, that's what she said.
Oh, how are you guys doing at home? I hope you guys are doing all right. Weekend's coming. The weather's getting super nice.
It's Friday. I'm sorry, people.
I was gonna say, hopefully you guys get out and go hiking, maybe go to the beach, but there's a whole lot going on right now regarding all that, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't seem like there's gonna be hiking trails or beach, but as we speak, I can hear the helicopters outside, and there's some marching going on, some protesting going on regarding the closures of Huntington Beach and stuff like that.
Who knew you'd be like in the hub of like national debate of beach closures and liberty and all that stuff? You know?
Hey, listen, whatever side of the fence you're on, I get it. I get both arguments. But let's just remember that usually middle ground, somewhere in between both of those arguments lies the truth. So just going to leave that there. I don't really like to get into politics and stuff like that.
Me neither.
But keeping a level head, keeping your head on your shoulders and keeping your wits about you, especially in self-defense, always seems to be the right answer. So, just be smart about what you're doing out there. Go out there, enjoy the sun. Yes, do all that stuff. Just be smart about what you're doing. That's it.
True.
How's work going, Mr. Gary? I know that you are an essential worker, and they got you working a ton of hours.
Got me working all kinds of hours,
Yeah.
crazy hours, different hours. It's all right. I mean, it's work. I'm not crazy about it. I never have been, or I haven't been for a while. Let's say, kind of outgrown where I work. But
Okay.
a lot of us out there, we're just trucking along daily. I haven't had the luxury of being off. Like how everybody's like getting tired of being home. It's like I can handle being home for a couple weeks, but I haven't had that luxury. So
Yeah, here's what's crazy about that. It's funny that you're saying that. The luxury of being home. Like since the closures happened, I've been coming here every single day.
and I don't mean that in a negative
Oh,
way.
no, not
I
at
just
all.
mean
No,
that
no, I get it.
everybody gets a little time off, and I haven't really.
Yeah. That's actually what I was gonna say. Is that like I'm looking forward to being home. Like so, Saturday and Sunday, I do stay home. Monday through Friday, I still come to the studio. I still suit up. I put my uniform on, and I come and work here. We're really busy doing a bunch of other stuff. It's just a different type of busy. But it is kind of cool to be able to think like, okay, I could be home for 2 days, and I'm really looking forward to that, to be quite honest. Because there are people that are just working a ton of hours, trying to stay.
Yeah, there's two sides.
Trying to stay relevant,
Yeah.
trying to keep up with your job, trying to keep up with your businesses, like trying to stay alive. You really have to want it as much as you breathe right now. In order to, if you own your own business, you really got to put some massive action into play, and that's what we're doing here. And so, today's Friday. I genuinely, sincerely am looking to just being home Saturday and Sunday.
Amen. I'm the same here. So, with that being said, there's always, everybody thinks there's black and white. There really isn't. It's just all shades of gray. There's no rights and wrongs. It's just all shades of gray. That's how you should look at things, because the minute you say you're for something, it'll change on you like that. So you should always be open to change, open to new.
Absolutely.
And definitely, I respect Mr. Abel for being in here on those days where he could very easily just close shop and be at home and just waiting for something to happen. But starting, doing this between me and you and the online curriculum, that's a lot of work. We just jumped ahead like 10 years doing that, because all of us have always talked about it and kind of dabbled around it, because it was a lot of work and there's a lot of time there. So by this happening, it actually forced your hand at actually doing it. So, man, when we open up, we're going to hit the ground running again. So it's huge.
Yep, we are. It's the difference between, actually, I was listening to a kind of like a motivational speaker on a podcast yesterday, and he kind of gave an example of this. He said, it's kind of like when a car's waiting at a red light and it's completely stopped, It's the difference between being completely stopped and that car that's coming that saw the red light just slowed down but kept on rolling. And when that green light hit, this car just immediately took off, and this one took a while to kind of catch up to its speed. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it here. We haven't stopped moving, and I don't want to. That scares me. I've always also heard that movement is life, and I want to keep on moving. I want to keep on that trajectory. Don't lose sight of that, because it's really easy to lose sight while you're going through all this pandemic stuff.
It really is, dude. It really is easy to lose sight of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really easy. But you know, with that being said, we're getting ready to go into Zoom classes. So, do you use Zoom a lot?
Live Zoom classes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know you're saying Zoom, but in my head it's like live. Like it's just it's a game changer. It's a learning curve. I mentioned that in another podcast. Like all this stuff is a learning curve, and it makes me feel really uncomfortable. But I'm embracing it because I do understand that's when we're doing things that make us uncomfortable is when we're growing, right? So like yesterday, we were kind of putting the team was putting the whole kind of package together. What I mean by that is like the big screen TV connected to the computer, connected to the making all the accounts for Zoom, and we were in front of the camera. Christina was out manning the computer, you know, trying to see how it works live and all that, and it's gonna be fun. It's definitely gonna be fun. It's gonna be a learning experience, and it's gonna be awesome for us to continue connecting through that. And for you guys at home, I hope it brings something positive to you guys, because we are really pushing ourselves to do this.
So, Abel's a perfectionist, or I should say, he wants the best of what he can get out of people and the best of what he can get out of things. So we've been watching a lot of different Zoom classes, other schools and what they do, and yeah, you don't want to look bad and you want to look good. You definitely want to look good, and there's definitely ways to look bad. There's some people out there that aren't doing it right, but I got to give a shout out to Gateway City's Krav Maga.
Yeah, Mr. Noy.
So Mr. Noy sends me a link last night, and we Zoom a lot. But we usually Zoom, and it's more like buddy talk,
okay,
you know?
Okay.
So he sends me a link. I'm thinking it's buddy talk, right? I'm jumping on the link, and I jump on, and I have a background. I'm not going to name what my background is. And, yeah, he was in the middle of a Zoom class. And
like an actual class?
I totally interrupted his class.
Oh, my God.
And all I could do was take my phone and slide my face out of the picture and leave the picture up and like try to get out of there. I felt so bad.
No.
Yeah. So.
Did he see it?
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He forgave me, so it was a good
Yes.
conversation.
Yeah.
Good laugh. And another Gary thing that Gary does is, yeah.
What I'm thinking is, if I was in the middle of a Zoom class, I definitely wouldn't send you a link. I would have a talk with you way before, letting you know that it was an actual class. I mean, we all know Mr. Gary, man.
Yeah, I probably would agree with you at this point. But yeah, it is what it is. It happened. But I learned my lesson. I did. Gotta think a little bit before I just do something. Sometimes I say things and do things, and I just don't think until afterwards, and then I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, so we're looking forward to the Zoom stuff. I think we're feeling the love for it now. We feel a little bit more comfortable with it now, and we do see the value in it. I mean, it really is going to add value to everything we're doing. It's just that cherry on top.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
We're doing these, and this has been a good thing for me. It's a little therapeutic because I don't get to like. Everybody gets to see each other, so I get to come in here a couple times a week and see everybody, and I miss everybody, and I love everybody. So it's like, being here is definitely therapeutic. But with that said, I'm ready for some Zoom classes, man. I wanna sit back and actually do it at home while I'm watching, and checking it out and seeing what it looks like on that side.
Yeah. Speaking of the Zoom classes, if you guys have anything you guys want to see on those Zoom classes, hey, by all means, we are very open-minded. We'd love to fill in some of those. we'd love to fill some of those voids for you. So any kind of type of technique, drills, or anything that you guys want to see, it'll be our pleasure to do that for you guys. So don't hesitate. Shoot us an email, shoot us a comment, a text, whatever. You guys all have our contact stuff, and let us know what you guys want to see on there. We'll definitely go out of our way for you guys and deliver that.
Friday, what is your happy hour go-to drink?
Friday,
adult beverage.
Adult beverage. Okay, adult beverage. So a lot of you that don't know, my father's actually in the tequila business. What I mean by that, he doesn't distill the tequila. He grows the plant, the Weber blue agave, that is used to make the tequila. Man, I could talk all day about this. I think you messed up in bringing this up.
This is why I want to have your dad on.
I'm like passionate about this.
3 conversations I've had with Senior, and each time we go into like his businesses.
Yeah.
And so this is interesting to me.
Yeah, so the blue Weber agave is used to make the tequila, and he just focuses on bringing that plant product as good as possible and as ripe as possible to the companies. He works with different companies like Patron, Don Julio, Jose Cuervo, Herradura, just a whole bunch of companies out there, and also smaller companies like mom and pop companies that are in Mexico as well. But it's pretty cool because he's made a name for himself. His plant is always
so
very in demand.
Without this going any further, because I plan on having your dad as a guest.
Okay.
Go-to drink on Friday.
So obviously a tequila drink, right?
Nice.
That's what I was getting at.
Nice.
You brought it around, reeled it back in. So it would usually be maybe start off with it really does depend. If I have a good tequila, I don't mix it with anything. I sip it.
It's true.
So I'll pour it, still a little shot glass or maybe like a little tumbler, and no ice, no nothing, just nice and neat. Pour that and sip that. Have a nice conversation. Sit outside in patio or whatever. Have a nice conversation. So straight tequila, if it's an añejo or a super añejo, nothing, right? Yeah. But usually we're working with maybe some tequila that isn't like the best tequila. It's just something you got in there, and you mix it up with something. So either mix it up with squirt and a splash of lime, or a little bit of Coca-Cola and some tequila. Awesome.
Yeah. Go-to drink for me, Friday, tall can. I'm old school.
No, you do not.
Yeah,
no, you like your what is it, the Mai Tais and the tiki bar.
Don't get me wrong, I like that too, but that's a Sunday drink. on Friday, coming home, this is man style.
That's right.
When my dad used to come home from work, he'd come home and he'd bring 2 tall cans. One of the best, 2 tall cans when he'd come home, and then we would be off out to dinner or whatever, and he would drink 2 tall every Friday. Dude. So as I got older, it's like, I need a tall can. I'm a man now, you know.
That's funny. Here's the funny thing. Like, my dad really doesn't drink.
Yeah.
He'll have, like, when we serve like a good tequila, he'll have one with me, but that's it. Like, he likes the flavor, to taste it, the conversation, but he doesn't do it to, like, just to indulge in it.
Yeah.
He'll try it, and same thing. My mom likes a little bit more. She likes like her margaritas. She likes her rosé, wine. But that's.
I will say this: since I've been here at Blackbelt Collective, I have opened up my palate to whiskey and bourbon.
Some bourbon. That's so if I'm out of tequila for whatever reason, bourbon's the go-to. Bourbon's just mellow. It's nice. It's just it's a little bit sweet.
It's
good.
It's definitely a good chill out drink.
Yeah.
Anyways, off that subject, pizza or chicken?
Pizza or chicken?
Yeah.
Why do I have to choose between pizza or chicken?
Pizza or tacos?
Why can't we do like Shakeys where we could get the chicken, pizza, and some mojos?
You stole my.
Yeah.
Stole my.
That's where I would go.
Thunder, man.
That's where I would go. Shakeys.
Stole my thunder.
Dude, it's old school, right? I mean, Shakeys have been
old
since
school. There's still Shakeys, dude. I still know a bunch of legends. Give me a break. And it ain't old school. It's now, man.
Yeah, the mojos, man. I just like, dude. Oh, man.
Mojos.
Yeah, absolutely. See, so there you go. So we're on board with that.
Yeah, I'm just throwing stuff at you.
Yeah, that's good.
Car versus truck.
Oh, truck, man.
Truck.
All day.
I'm with you.
Yeah, all
Then
day.
it gotta be a truck.
All day.
It's just nothing like driving a truck.
Yeah. I cars just don't do it for me.
Yeah. Let's see. What was the other one? You got any? Real quick while I try to bog my memory.
Vacationing in the States or out of the country?
Well, it feels like I'm out of the country, but Hawaii is my go-to place. If I could, everybody who knows me knows I would live in Hawaii in a minute. I don't care about a house. I don't care about anything. I would do an Uber and Lyft. I would do it all day just to live in Hawaii.
Really?
I love Hawaii.
Yeah?
Love
I've
it.
never been to Hawaii, so maybe you gotta take me sometime.
Aloha State, baby. Yeah. Everything's
cool.
about family and love and
Yeah.
chilling out, and that's my speed right there. It's
Really
like,
cool. I know.
yeah. Back in the day when I was younger, Mexico, of course. I mean, that was fun. Just fun.
It depends where in Mexico.
No, true. I know you've traveled all over.
I'll be honest. I my heart wants to say the U.S., but once you get out there, man, like you get that itch and you want to just travel. And I would, if I could travel anywhere right now at this moment, it would either be south of Spain or it would be Italy for sure. I'd be there right now if I could just drop everything I was doing and everything was good and
Definitely two on my
that's
bucket
right.
list. Definitely two on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Actually, I have family in Spain, so I mean, family in Norway, family all over Europe, and
Really, that's awesome.
yeah, we just don't go. We don't travel much. We're working bees, and we always just work.
Someone who I would love to travel with is Mr. AJ. I keep on telling him to take me down to the south, and that would be so awesome.
AJ.
Yeah, that would be
fun.
so cool. Because just food alone, like he'd be able to take us to all the spots, and then he has a lot of family, Louisiana and all
would
that.
be fun.
Yeah, that would be really cool. So I've always told him that. Obviously now it's a whole different world. We'll see how it is after the fact and how traveling is and all that. But that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. Yeah.
Cool. iPhone or Android?
Oh, come on. Is that even a question?
That is a question.
Oh.
I have to ask.
iPhone all the way. By the way, babe, Gloria, if you are watching this, you need to get rid of that Android. You need to get yourself an iPhone. All right, we're always going back and forth on that.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
That is funny.
Yeah. How about you?
iPhone.
course.
I product. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
The interface is just so easy. I mean, it's
we're in 2020. You shouldn't have to be like loading and unloading and doing all kinds of interfaces with trying to figure this out. Now it should just be
There you
one
go.
click and go.
Yep.
That's why I love Apple.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Most of the stuff that we do here, all like the podcasts and all the live stuff, it's all through iPhone.
Okay. What else? Trying to think. It's Friday. It's a little laid back. We're both hot and sweaty in here.
Yeah, if you guys, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's hot in here. We're like sweating a little bit. It's not too bad, but it's not as cool as it usually is in here, right?
Yeah.
It's been some sunny days. We're not complaining. Sunny days are good.
So, would you ever consider like moving to a foreign country?
Moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not a person that says no to anything. I'm pretty open-minded about everything. It's really hard for me to say no to something because everything's so dynamic. Life will throw a curve at you, and if it's for the right reasons, absolutely. The difficult thing is, because I've even thought about like, hey, what about this state or that state, right? I have so much family here in California, and pretty sure I'm a lifer here.
Yeah. My Cali roots run deep.
Yeah,
there.
and it's like it goes beyond like I actually love being here. Like I like it. I enjoy it. I like when I'm driving to work, when I'm driving here to headquarters. I like to drive. Like I have like a whole way of doing it. Like I have my windows down, my shades on, my music up loud enough, not where I'm interrupting anybody, but where I can feel the bass. And I drive on the freeway. I drive fast. On the streets, I drive slow. It's just the whole thing about it. Like California has its own, especially Southern California, has its own way of doing things. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Um,
Growing up, my cousin and his parents worked for the Marriott, and they used to open Marriotts. So they would spend every couple years somewhere. So I spent my summers a lot in the East Coast, and the East Coast is fun, but it's definitely not Southern California in summer, you know. It's like, even in the winter, everybody's like, "Oh, I love the season changes." Hey, I'm not into the cold weather. I wear shorts 90% of the time, so yeah.
Beach or mountains?
Oh, beach.
Yeah?
For sure.
Since I'm in Southern California, I don't have to choose because I could drive, 45 minutes to an hour in either direction and I could get both.
I don't choose either. That's why I moved 4 miles to the beach. That's an easy one for me. Another one thing that was on my list is I want to go camping more. When I was a kid, I only been camping a few times.
What?
Yeah.
You're talking to the camper right here, man. I'm going to take you.
I'm like, I need to go camping more. I want to do more outdoorsy stuff. But beach, I lived at the beach when I was growing up, man. We'd take the bus down Brookhurst all the way down.
But does your wife like to camp?
Oh, hell no.
No? Well, see, you gotta figure out a way to...
I'll leave her at home.
No. That's not what I meant. So, I love to go camping. When I met my wife, she had never been camping. And so I was like, that's a dilemma because it was a kind of a high thing on my list. Whoever I'm going to spend my life with better want to go out into nature and spend some days out there, right? Without glamping, right? Like actual tent camping. And so what I did was I just went all out. So the first time I asked her to go camping, I told her, okay, this is your job. I'm going to open a bottle of wine up. I'm going to have your chair, have the fire going, and I'm going to set up camp. That's your job to enjoy it. And that's what I do every time. And since then, guess what? We go camping anytime we want to go because, she doesn't have to do any of the work.
Cool.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm not that I need to go with somebody who knows what they're doing because I ain't that efficient.
Yeah. No, it's just making it fun and if I go camping on my own, I could literally just sleep outside. I don't need to take a tent and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Before all this pandemic stuff, we'd go out hunting and stuff with the guys, and literally you take your rifle, your sidearm, and something to sleep on. Like we don't, it's not like putting up a tent and all this stuff. Like you know what I mean. So you can rough it for real, or you can you can be comfortable if you go with your family. Because I have 2 kids, 2 little ones, so I try to keep it real comfortable for them so that they want to keep on going. That's the ticket. That way you can keep on going.
That is the ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bucket list. I want to do more fishing. I haven't fished in a long time.
I'm not a good fisherman. I like being out there, being in nature. I still have the patience. I don't have the patience for it.
I love boating, but I would never own a boat because I know how expensive it is to own a boat. But I love boating. I love going out in the ocean.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So today I was going through Instagram and Mike Tyson pops up, and can you believe he's 53 years old?
I can't believe that. I also can't believe how good he looks still. Did you see him throwing?
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Oh.
Where will you be at 53?
Where would I be? Well, I think that I'm going to be very involved with growing this school. I think you and I will be working a lot more. I think Mr. Ryan will be out on a farm somewhere where we will be doing seminars open to different people, different martial artists around the world. We'll be holding seminars. A lot of practitioners will be visiting that ranch, and that ranch will be directly involved with this studio. I think that we're going to be traveling to Vegas a lot for some seminars and stuff like that.
I'm ready, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of plans for this school. This pandemic slowed us down a little bit, but I haven't lost the vision. It's still very near and dear to my heart. There's a reason why I think it was born in my heart and in my mind, and I'm going to do everything I can to hang on to that dream because I believe that there's value in it. Not just a value like as a businessman, like, oh, we could do business here. Honestly, that's secondary. I believe that there's value, something that we can provide to the communities, something that we can provide to the world, and that's on a bigger scale than just the community of Huntington Beach.
I like that.
Yeah.
53, that ain't too far away from me. So you know what? I plan on having a whole new career within the next 2 years. I plan on working here, being involved some way, somehow. Yeah, I plan on being free, man. I just like the concept of working for myself or working.
Hey, listen, I'll be honest with you guys, and you business owners at home can attest to this. The grass isn't always greener, man.
So
sometimes I look the other way and I'm like, you know what? If I could clock in and clock out, that would be awesome, you know?
So I know, because I'm getting closer to retirement.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to have both kind of sides of it.
That's nice. Well, you worked hard for it.
Yeah, and freedom's huge, man. I look at it differently now. I'm older. It's like, if I could do that, that's one little thing I could do differently. I'd make something my own.
Right.
Yeah, that's, and you know what? Not doing it differently, I am going to do that. I'm going to be able to call my own. And that's as you get older, you start going, that's the difference between the freedom and working 9 to 5 for somebody else.
Yeah, something I learned from my parents, both my mom and dad, their work ethic. I mean, it's bar none. My brother's the same way. My wife is actually the same way. I'm surrounded by people that just work hard, but they work smart. Even when they're sick, they show up. Like they figure out a way. Whether it's phone calls, computer, they still get their meetings done. There's so many ways to work now, right? Where you don't have to just show up in front of someone. Combining that with just working hard, combining that brain and that body, working hard but working smart will really,
So I think there's a reason for everything. I'm not super spiritual, but I think there is a reason for everything. You meet people for certain reasons. And the day I walked into Beach City's Krav Maga and met everybody until now here at Blackbelt Collective, and I think there's a reason.
Very cool.
Why my ducks have aligned in that direction. Man. I mean, it is what it is. You either gonna do something or you're not. And I want to be somebody who's gonna do something. So that'll be me.
Yeah, to add to that a little bit. I don't believe in coincidences. Like usually when someone says, "Oh, what a coincidence," I'll nod at it, maybe agree with it, but I don't believe that there's coincidences. There's reasons why things happen, and it might be my ignorance, but I do like to believe that, and I like to believe that that there is a higher power, on our side, kind of watching what we do and the reason for why we do it, and that's what keeps me going. So
same. So one last question before we hang it up for the day on Friday, so we can go get things done. What do you think your vision will be when this is all said and done, this quarantine? That day that you get that call or that email or that you see it on TV and it says, hey, you're allowed to hold a live class. What do you think your vision will be right then and there? Will it just spawn or will it
Well, I'm salivating a little bit right now, but I don't care what time that is. If it's 8 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, 3 in the morning, and I get that email, at that moment, if I'm home, I'll drive over here, open up. If I'm here already, I'm sending out emails saying, hey, let's do this. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep. There's ways to do it safely, obviously, right? We're going to do all protocols. Whatever they ask for, we'll do. The matter of the fact is, this is going to keep us physically and mentally healthy. A longer break than what we've already had is going to be painful for the community to handle, mentally and physically.
Yeah.
And so we got to balance that. We have to find a balance. In my own opinion, I respect everybody else's opinion, but I believe we have to find a balance between that. We need to stay physically and mentally healthy. And one way to do that is obviously physical exertion, right? And one way to stay mentally healthy is also hitting something, right? Communicating with other people, having some interactions with other people, getting some fresh air, breaking in those lungs. All that stuff is really healthy for us. So I'm looking forward to it. We're already working on plans on reopening. We're getting materials and certain things that we will need to reopen safely. And we're getting all that in line. So I'm ready. So that email, that call, whatever that is, I'm ready for it. Let's do it.
And on that note, man, have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.
Thank you guys for your time. Thank you, Mr. Gary, for your time.
Remember, I'm on Instagram, GaryH72.
Simpleman0707. We love you guys. We miss you guys. We'll see you soon.